Right, welcome back. Van's a bit of a mess. I've got everything sort of in pieces, doing little bits of work here and there. But this is the big project that I really wanted to get finished before the winter. So, living in the van, I lived in the van maybe about 3 months in Spain and Portugal. Everything's great, didn't really miss anything. Very happy about the way everything is laid out, and yeah, I'm not really missing anything from a flat or a house. The one thing that I was missing was doing laundry, because although it's not a big problem in Spain and Portugal, it's warm, so your laundry dries easily outside. You're not fighting against moisture so much as you would be in the winter. And also it's about €5 or €6, maybe more, to get your clothes washed at a laundry place. So now, I actually have my own fully automatic washing machine in the van. I've just installed it. The washing machine's actually under the bed here. So yeah, this is the washing machine itself. I think they're sold under different brands, but I think you'll definitely find it if you search for that. Giantex. You can see here on the eco label. This is a cold fill. Sorry, it's a hot fill washing machine. That's why it gets an A++, because it doesn't actually, like in a residential environment, you have an automatic washing machine. All it has is a cold water connection, and it actually has a heating element in the bottom, and it heats its own water. Whereas this has one water input, and then you can actually pour hot water into the top, warm water. But yeah, so what I have to do here is I preheat the water using the diesel heater, which is down in that corner, and my big fat hot water tank, to create hot water without using too much electricity. This thing doesn't use much power at all when it's running, and the most important thing is, because it's an upright, it doesn't use too much water. It does use a lot of water, which is why I now have this 100-litre water tank. But I'll go into a little bit more detail. Let's get some clothes, get some hot water going. So the first thing to do when you need hot water in my van, for either the sink or for the shower, or for now the washing machine, is to turn the diesel heater on. I've just put the little switch down here. You press that, and then the diesel heater jumps into life. What that heater is going to do, it's going to circulate hot water into my big hot water tank. Just keep going round and round and round until this hot water tank reaches, I think it turns off at 73 degrees. So that's one way for me to heat the water in the big tank. The other way is with my new electric element, which is in the top. It came with an element when I bought this tank second hand, but usually in these kind of tanks, these elements are about 3,000 watts, and this one is only 1,000 watts, so it means I can use it in more places. I can use it on a normal plug. I can show you it now. It's down here. It's using 960 watts. The only downside of that is it only goes up to 60 degrees, but it's more than enough for, most things. But when you have a little bit more temperature in the tank, you've got more heat stored, so it lasts a bit longer. So it's quite nice with the diesel getting it up a little bit warmer. But I like having this because it means I can plug in, and electricity in the UK and in Switzerland and in other countries is much cleaner, talking about carbon emissions, than burning diesel. So I'll always try and plug it in, even if it costs more per energy. It's much better to use electricity. But also, when you're off the grid, I can use diesel anywhere that I need. And also the diesel, I'm going to be experimenting with running my diesel heater on recycled vegetable oil, so we'll have to see about that too. Okay, so the heater's getting up to speed. It'll probably run, it's 5 kilowatts, so it'll probably run for about an hour. I think I can store it's about 9 kilowatt hours, 7 kilowatt hours I can store in the hot water tank. So we'll let it get up to temperature, and then I'll show you the process of getting the hot water into here. Alright, while we're heating up, let's get some clothes in. I actually weighed these, and it's about 3 kilograms, 3.5 kilograms. And this stuff is super dirty. It's from the other jeans I was working on the van in. They're covered in oil, and all my cycling stuff, which is super sweaty. So it's really a really good test for the sort of the power of the cleaning of the machine. So I'll throw those in. Obviously, when the bed's here, the wood is across here, so I'll have to reach underneath. And I guess I can kind of use this like a washing basket, so I can just throw things in there. And when I'm ready to run it, I'll just press go. That's nice and easy without the slats in place. Pair of joggers, pair of jeans. Alright, that's everything in. Looks quite full, the drum, but I guess we'll have to see how much water it decides to use. So the diesel heater's just shut down, we're up to temperature. So I've got the clothes in. I'm going to have to leave this lid open on the water tank a little bit because I haven't put a breather in just yet, so that just lets the pump suck the water out. The next step, I need to turn on, this is the pump for the hot water circulation pump. And what that is doing, it's running the hot water from this tank through this heat exchanger, just round and round and round in a circle. And then the water from this tank, the path that takes is down in the corner, up here, goes around here, across the bed, to that heat exchanger, gets heated up, comes back, and then it comes, I've just put a little like washing machine valve like you'd have in a house. I'll turn that on because we're going to use it. That obviously goes in there into the sink for hot water, and now this flexible hose down here that comes up the back is the hot water for the washing machine. So the machine is fully automatic, as it proudly states there, so you don't need to change the water manually for the rinse cycle or the spin cycle. I've seen a lot of these DC washing machines that are twin tub, so you take the clothes out of one and put it into the other, but they just don't have really a very useful capacity. This is 4.5 kilograms, so it's obviously not very much for a residential washing machine, but it's quite a lot. I've got a lot of stuff in there and it's only about 3 kilograms. So on the machine itself, let's turn it on. It's got different modes. I don't know what most of them do. I know that normal, obviously it fills it up with water, does a wash, does one rinse and a spin, and then it does another rinse and a spin. So for me that's not really good because it uses a lot more water because you're doing one extra rinse. So on fast it only does one rinse, so then you fill it up with water, it does the wash, it does a spin, then it fills it with water again and spins it out to rinse out the soap and stuff. So that's perfect for me. And then over here you can see you can choose different water levels. It tells you on the screen your water level. It actually automatically weighs the clothes, so if you choose a number that isn't enough water for the clothes, it fills it up. So what I tend to do is just choose 1 or 2, and then the machine will overrule you and fill it up to what it wants anyway. So by doing it that way, I always make sure I'm using the minimum water possible. Because it doesn't use much power. Water is the main problem for this. It uses quite a lot. I've got the water for the different levels is here on my phone. You might not be able to see it. Level 1 is 23 litres, then it goes 26, 29, 33, 36, 39, 42 and 46. But of course these numbers are doubled because it's filling up that same amount of water again on the rinse cycle. So the minimum it can use is actually 46 litres on the lowest one. Which is a significant amount of water, and then with just a single rinse, like I said, you're up to about 90 something litres, less than 100 litres for the highest capacity wash. So we want water level 1, program number 3, which is fast wash, and yeah, almost forgot about the drain hose, which is a grey hose that you can hang on the side of the machine. It's got a little hole. That's just out through the back doors for now. I've just got the door open because I'm going to drill a hole through the floor or find another solution for that. Next, I've got this biodegradable washing liquid. I think liquid's a little bit easier than powder. Okay, enough talking, let's finally do it. And go. Oh yeah, my super noisy pump. But here comes the water. And it is... ow. It's pretty hot. Yeah, that's definitely hot. So I'm just going to pour the liquid soap into that stream of water to try and help it mix in. You'll have to excuse the sound of my very loud water pump. You can see the washing machine itself it's using less than 8 watts so far because there's just the little solenoid that's open. And then I'll show you the power use when it's doing the wash and then when it's spinning as well. And it says it's got 22 minutes left. And BB means it's in the wash phase. There's also an option where you can soak them first. Alright, here it goes. I think it does this little bit at the beginning where it just sort of tries to work out how many clothes are in there, and then it adds a little bit more water, because it normally adds a bit more than this. But you can see you can actually throw more things in if you need. Okay, let's give it a minute. It's going to do this for another 20 minutes, and then it will go on to rinsing and spinning, and I'll show you that. So we're in the wash cycle now. You can see it's using 140 to 190, a little spike there. but it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's always less than 200 watts, and I'll show you the amount of watt hours it's used at the end. Spoilers, I think it's about 50, which is almost nothing. I think 50 watt hours is about boiling 1 cup of water. So now you can see it's in the drain mode. This has changed to CC, which means rinse, and it actually has its own built-in drain pump, so it's just pumping out all the water now, and then it will spin, and then it will pump it out again, and then it will fill it up with water and rinse it out. Okay, we're in spin mode now. 200 watts. I think when the motor was starting up it peaked out about 400 watts. So I'd round it up and call it 500. And it's done. It gives you a few beeps to let you know that it's done. I'm going to turn off the tap. And let's have a look. Yeah, it spins pretty good. Things are still damp, but they're not dripping wet. You could hang it up and it's not going to drip water everywhere. And yeah, everything smells good. And I know from using it before that it cleans really well. So there you go. One more thing in the van that turns it into a little tiny house. Super happy with that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.